Hi, I'm David Brooks.
And I'm Stuart Watt.
Welcome to Bust My Balls
For
Fully Swollen. Stuart, what is busting your balls?
one thing that is really busting my balls, David, is wrongful termination. Situations happen, things go down, completely out of your control, and you're made the fall guy and lose your job. A week before Christmas. Bah humbug.
A group of douchebags must have done that to you.
Oh yeah.
Which reminds me, you know what really busts my balls?
I am intrigued.
Complete douchebags. For somehow, every single douchebag has a girlfriend. I don't know how this becomes. I guess you have to be a douchebag to have a girlfriend. I don't understand it.
I know I'm single and I'm not a douche, so it must be true.
But D-Baby has a girlfriend. Imply what you want.
I said nothing. You know what really busts my balls?
What's that?
People who don't like The Dark Knight. They are out there and they need to be killed.
I believe you said that about Batman Begins in one of the previous Bust My Balls.
I did. I said that in the original Bust My Balls.
You know what really busts my balls? Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Blart!
Not only is it a ripoff of Die Hard, kind of, but it looks ridiculous. I mean, this thing should never have been made. You claim that it is written partially by the star, Kevin James.
It was on IMDb.
And I don't think he has much talent.
No, he doesn't. The only thing that carried the King of Queens for so long was Jerry Stewart.
That is true.
You know what really busts my balls?
What's that?
People who wear Newport Letterman coats. Nobody cares except people in Newport. And that's only half of them.
Yeah, because the rest of them are dropped out after the 8th grade.
Just have another coat. I mean, it's cool if you wear a Newport Letterman coat when you're at school, because it's like, hey, I'm better than you. But when you're outside of school, you look like an ass. And once you graduate, you realize it's a complete waste of money because you'll never wear it again. And if you do, it's because your last name's Delaney.
You know what really busts my balls?
What?
Joakim Noah. How this man could still have a career in the NBA just baffles me. How could somebody with that hair, living off talent from his father's tennis career, and then somehow makes it all the way to the Chicago Bulls, although they suck, but it might be because he's on the team. And he got suspended last year because he got in a fight with an assistant coach, and I just hate Joakim Noah, or Joakim Noah, or whatever, however you pronounce it. He has long hair like Troy Polamalu, who I hate too.
You know what busts my balls?
People who just put stuff in the recycling bin while we're filming Bust My Balls?
Yes! You know what else really busts my balls?
What?
The franchise tag in the NFL. A player comes up for free agency, and the team's like, wait a minute, we don't want to lose this player because they're good, but we don't want to pay him money.
This will happen to TJ this year, and I will be happy about
I
it.
am hoping it does not. I hope Cincinnati goes their usual route of making huge mistakes with players, and TJ, I hope, will sign with Tampa Bay.
He will not sign with Tampa Bay. He's wanting to go to San Francisco if he wants to go anywhere.
Well, that's where all the ex-Bengals are going now anyway.
You know what really busts my balls?
What?
When you're at a mall or some sort of shopping area, and you're just walking through, and then you're really tired, and you just, all you want to do is take an escalator, but when you get to the escalator, it is broken. What's busting your balls, Stuart?
At this moment, it is tissues with lotion. You have snot and boogers coming out of your nose, and you want to get rid of it. So you blow your nose into one of these tissues.
Yeah.
You think that's cool? It's all gravy. No. The lotion in the Kleenex is somewhat wet on your nose, or leaves that wet feeling because it moisturized the area, making you think that there's still snot thinly wiped across your face.
You know what really busts my balls?
What?
Diesel when he's beardless. If you can grow facial hair that awesome, why do you not grow it all times?
Diesel beardless would be like Ben Wallace without an afro.
That's a good analogy there, Stuart.
You know what really busts my balls?
What's that?
George Clooney.
Why is that?
Batman and Robin. It's been 11 years, but the wounds have not healed. No, wait, it's been 12 years now.
What about
Almost 12 years.
what
It came
about
out in the summer of '97.
how can this guy be voted the sexiest bachelor alive like 3 years? He's getting old.
He is.
And he's a womanizer and burn after reading. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
The one thing he said that ever amused me or made me agree with him was post-production time of Batman and Robin, when stars were asked if they could keep one thing from the shooting, what would it be? And George Clooney said he would keep Elle Macpherson, who played his girlfriend in the movie.
This is completely random, but tell the viewers about how Marlon Wayans was possibly going to be Robin.
Okay, and this is true, you can look it up. Marlon Wayans originally was going to be Robin. He had been cast and was being fitted for the costume. Joel Schumacher, once Tim Burton stepped down as director, Joel Schumacher took over and said, F that, I suck, but Marlon Wayans is not going to be in this movie. So it came down, and this can all be looked up, it is fact, it was down between Christian Bale, the current Batman, and Chris O'Donnell.
I am glad that they chose Chris O'Donnell, because then Christian Bale would have never been the current Batman.
Exactly. But Marlon Wayans, who was contracted for what became Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, still was paid for the two films. As well was Billy D. Williams for the role of Two-Face, because it was in his contract for the 1989 Batman that he reprised the role in the sequel. And since you got this ball rolling, the planned fifth movie was going to be called Batman Triumphant. The villains would include Harley Quinn, who would be the Joker's daughter instead of his girlfriend. Man-Bat, who, if you remember the early 1990s cartoon, was this guy, a scientist who took this thing and made him into a giant bat. And the Scarecrow, a planned thing was that the Scarecrow gives Batman the fear toxin, and he has a flashback of the Joker, which would be a cameo by Jack Nicholson.
You know what really busts my balls?
What?
Overtime in the NFL. I know we've covered this before, but I have to amend what Stuart has said about it, change it to the arena football rules. I have come up with a great plan. It's just like college overtime, where each team gets a chance, opportunity, but instead of at the 30-yard line or the 35 or wherever they use, we move it to the 50-yard line. And we have 3 minutes left, so let's hurry it up here.
You know what really busts my balls?
What's that?
Remakes.
Of what?
Movies.
All movies?
Pretty much. Name one good remake.
310 to Yuma.
Name two.
Dawn of the Dead.
Zombie movies don't count because they're very low on plot. Exactly. The only reason 310 to Yuma was cool because of Christian Bale and Russell Crowe.
That's true. You know what busts my balls?
What?
People who don't wave when you pull over for them on a road. For some reason, they don't wave, even though it is general courtesy to wave at somebody when you pull over for them. What douchebags is that?
You know what really busts my balls?
What's that?
People, Roman Polanski, first of
God.
all, let's molest a child and then flee the country, and then 30 years later I'll say, hey, drop the charges.
You know what really busts my balls?
What?
Speeding tickets.
Oh my God!
Why do they cost so much? Like in Montana, there's no speed limit. Why can't all states be that way?
David, I'm not sure, but we do have to wrap this baby up.
Alright, one more. People who don't clog up... This busts my balls. People who clog up the lines at grocery stores, just like a fat man clogs up his arteries by eating too many Big Macs.
Those dumb broads at Kroger's really made us go out of our way to get to the check.
Yeah, we needed batteries for this freaking thing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening to Bust My Balls. I'm David Brooks.
And I'm Stuart Watt.
And I hope you were fully...
Swollen.